A pleasant day, everyone. So our topic for today is about the overview of metabolism, ATP, and energy production. So understanding the fundamental processes that sustain life is pivotal in the field of biochemistry. So my report provides a comprehensive overview of metabolism, energy production, which are integral components of cellular function. So the metabolism encompasses the chemical reaction that occur within living organisms to maintain life. So involving both the breakdown of the molecule to produce energy and the synthesis of necessary compounds. So the central to these metabolic processes is ATP or adenosine triphosphate, the primary energy carrier that powers various cellular activities. So the intricacies of energy production, particularly through cellular respiration, illustrate how cells efficiently generated and utilize energy by exploring these concepts. So these reports aim to elucidate the biochemical mechanisms that underpin cellular vitality and energy dynamics. So I have here a game which is called the match up game, which is the introductory activity. So this game will be your energizer in order to learn the topic that we will discuss next of this. So match up of the food cards with the corresponding activity cards that provide good energy for those activities. So provide a brief explanation of the match up of food and activity. So you will match up the food according to its activity, and you will give an explanation on on why that your answer is that. I will give you 5 minutes to do it. So after you so this is the correct answer of the match up. So why does this apple match up to playing soccer, whole grain bread to running, grilled chicken to lifted weights, chicken broccoli to yoga, almonds to hiking, banana to cycling. My banana to cycling, salmon to swimming, and sweet potato to dancing. So maybe this is your explanation. So the possible of your explanation is that apple for playing soccer applies to provide natural sugars and fiber for quick energy to fuel activities like soccer. So whole grain bread for running, so the complex carbohydrate in whole grain bread provides sustained energy for endurance and activities like running. Next is the grilled chicken for lifting weights. Chicken is a lean protein that helps build and repair muscle, supporting strength of the training. Next is the broccoli for yoga. So broccoli is packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber to nourish the body during the yoga practice. Next is the almond for hiking. Almonds are portable, nutrient-dense snack with health fats, protein, and fiber to fuel long hikes. Next is the banana for cycling, which is the bananas provide quick-acting carbohydrates and potassium, an important electrolyte for cyclists. Next is salmon for swimming. So salmon is rich in protein and omega-3 fatty acid, which support muscle recovery after swimming workouts. Next is the sweet potato for dancing. So sweet potatoes are a complex carbohydrate that provides steady energy for high intensity dancing. These should may be your possible answers or your explanation why does apple connect to playing soccer and whole grain and so on. So now we'll go over to our learning objectives. So at the end of the discussion, the students will be able to define metabolism and explain its importance in the human body. So after this discussion, you will be able to define the metabolism and explain of its importance. Next is describe the role of ATP as the primary energy currency in cells. And lastly, differentiate metabolism, ATP, and energy production. So our subtopics is the introduction of metabolism, the role of ATP, the energy production through cellular respiration, and significance of energy production. So the introduction of metabolism. So metabolism So metabolism is a set of chemical reactions and processes that occur within the cells of living organisms to sustain life. So it involves the breakdown of molecules to release energy, which is the catabolism, and the synthesis of a new molecules anabolism. So metabolism is the breakdown to release catabolism to anabolism. So metabolism is essential for maintaining the body's vital functions such as growth, repair, and energy production. So what are the importance of metabolism in the human body? So first, the energy production. So energy production and metabolism converts the food we eat into usable energy in the form of ATP, which power various cellular processes and bodily functions. So we need to eat food that are healthy and drinks a lot of water and the liquid that we need to sustain in order to have energy in our daily activities. So for instance, when we consume carbohydrates, they are broken down into glucose, which is then used in cellular respiration to produce ATP. So fueling muscles, contractions, nerve impulse, transmissions, and even the synthesis of new molecules essential for growth and repair. So next is the growth and repair. So this is now the importance of the metabolism is the energy production. Then second is the growth and repair. So anabolic pathways of metabolism are responsible for the synthesis of new cells, tissues, and organs, allowing the body to grow and repair itself, such as the process of muscle growth after exercise, where protein synthesis lead to the formation of the new muscle fibers. Next is the regulation of body function. So metabolism helps to maintain homeostasis, the balance of various physiological processes such as the body temperature, blood sugar levels, and hormone regulations. So for instance, when the blood sugars level rise after meal, metabolic processes are activated to convert glucose into glycogen for storage, thereby restoring the balance. Next is the waste elimination. So catabolism pathways of metabolism break down and eliminate waste products such as the carbon dioxide and urea. So from the body during process like cellular respiration and protein degradation. So what is the anabolic and catabolic pathway? So let's discuss it, or let's differentiate the anabolic and catabolic pathway. So metabolism consists of two main types. This is the anabolic and catabolic pathway. So in anabolic pathway, simple to complex molecule only, while in catabolic pathway, it is a complex to simple, so it is inversely proportional to each other. When anabolic is simple, then the catabolic will complex. Next is endergonic, and the catabolic pathway is exergonic. When the anabolic pathway involves reduction, then catabolic pathways involve oxidation. When anabolic pathway requires NADPH, then the catabolic pathways require NAD. When anabolic pathway divergent process, then catabolic pathways is convergent process. So anabolic pathway and catabolic pathway is crucial for maintaining overall metabolic homeostasis in human body. Next is, what is ATP? So we are earlier we talked about the metabolism. So metabolism have two main types, which is the anabolic and the catabolic. So anabolic is requires NADPH, then a catabolic requires NAD or NAD. So next is the ATP. So what is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Is crucial energy molecule found within living organisms, or found within us humans and animals, or the living organisms. It is a nucleotide composed of adenosine. Adenosine is a combination of adenine and ribose, and 3 phosphate groups. So ATP plays a vital role in storing, transferring energy energy within the cell. So, driving various biological processes such as muscle contraction, the nerve impulse transmission, and chemical synthesis. When ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP, which is the adenosine diphosphate, and an organic phosphate, energy is released, which is then harnessed for cellular activities. So this energy transfer mechanism makes ATP indispensable for maintaining cellular function and supporting life. So now, energy production through cellular respiration. So um, cellular respiration is a metabolic pathway that breaks down glucose and other organic molecules to produce ATP. So this energy production through cell respiration will convert to ATP. So ATP is the product of energy production through cellular respiration. So it consists of four main stages, which is the glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, the citric acid cycle, or also known as the Krebs cycle, and the oxidative phosphorylation. So during the glycolysis, glucose is split into two molecules of pyruvate in the cytoplasm, yielding this small amount of ATP and NADH. So the pyruvate then undergoes oxidation in the mitochondria, forming acetyl coenzyme, which enters the citric acid cycle. So here, further breakdown of molecules occur during the additional of NADH and FADH2. So while releasing carbon dioxide. So finally, oxidative phosphorylation, which includes the electron transport chain and the chemiosmosis, generates the majority of ATP by utilizing the high energy electrons from NADH and FADH2 to create a proton gradient that drives ATP synthesis. Now is the glycolysis, the first stage of the ATP. So glycolysis is the first stage of the cellular respiration. So glycolysis is the first stage of cellular respiration and occurs in the cytoplasm of cell during glycolysis. A glucose molecule is split into two pyruvate molecules, producing a net of two ATP and two NADH molecules. So this crucial process initiates the breakdown of glucose, setting the stage for further energy extraction in subsequent stages or the cellular respiration. Next is the pyruvate oxidation. So we talked earlier the pyruvate oxidation. So what is pyruvate oxidation? So this is the product of glycolysis. It's transported into the mitochondria, where it is converted into acetyl coenzyme. So this process releases carbon dioxide and produces one NADH molecule. So the citric acid or the Krebs cycle. So the citric acid cycle, also known as the Krebs cycle, takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. So acetyl coenzyme enters the cycle and undergoes a series of reactions producing 3 NADH, 1 FADH2, and the GTP or the ATP per turn of the cycle. So this is the cycle of our the citric acid or the Krebs cycle. So carbon dioxide is also known as released as a byproduct. Next is what are the significance of energy production. So first, energy is released for all cellular processes and activities, from basic maintenance to specialized functions like muscle contraction, nerve transmission, and cellular signaling. Next is the adenosine triphosphate is the primary energy currency in cells. It stores and transfers energy released from catabolic reaction like cellular respiration. And then now when ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP or adenosine diphosphate, an inorganic phosphate, the released energy can be used to drive in the endogenic reaction that would not otherwise occur spontaneously. So this allows cells to perform essential processes. So now, let's summarize all our discussion. So first is the metabolism, which refers to all the chemical reaction that occur in living organism to sustain life. So metabolism can be divided into two main categories, which is the anabolic pathway, which build complex molecules from simpler ones and requires energy input, and the catabolic pathway break down complex molecule into simpler one and release energy. So adenosine triphosphate is a primary energy currency in cells. It stores and transfers the energy released from catabolic reaction. And when ATP is composed of ATP is composed of adenine, ribose, sugar, and three phosphate groups. The bonds between the phospholates contains the stored energy. So when ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP or adenosine diphosphate, an inorganic phosphate, the energy is stored in the bonds, is released and can be used to drive cellular processes. So ATP is continuously recycled in cells. It is constantly being used and regenerated. So the turnover of ATP is very rapid. So next is most ATP is produced by the process of cellular respiration, which breaks down glucose and other organic molecules in the presence of oxygen. So this process captures the released energy and stores in ATP. So other processes like beta oxidation of fatty acids and ketosis can also produce ATP. So ATP powers many cellular processes like active transport, biosynthesis, and muscle construction. So it drives these processes by transferring its phosphate group to other molecular phosphorylation. So that's the sum up of our topic for today, which is the overview of metabolism, ATP, and energy production. So now that we already done to our discussion, let us measure your understanding. So for our assessment, I have here the Venn diagram moment. So this is the Venn diagram. So this is a moment that you will, in our third learning objectives, that you will differentiate the overview of metabolism, ATP, and energy production. Then when you will, as you differentiate the ATP, you can already define the metabolism and explain its importance. So because when you differentiate, you can also define and explain the importance in our body. And also, when you differentiate the three of them, you can also describe the role of ATP as a primary energy currency in the cell. So here in our diagram moment, make a Venn diagram that shows the similarities and differences of metabolism, ATP, and energy production. So write your Venn diagram in a one whole bond paper and be creative in making your Venn diagram. So that is the end of our discussion. I hope you enjoy, learn something, and reflect our discussion today in your daily life. So thank you everyone and have a blessed day.